dictatorship governments did back in the day, our military governments did, is they instilled a spirit of fear.
Yeah.
So the average Nigerian is soaked in fear. You want to do anything, my brother, relax. We're gonna die. Nobody's making it out alive. Yeah? Yeah. No bother. We're not making it out alive. So, my dear, my bro, you better go outside and explore, because when you go, you find so many similarities.
Yeah.
And then you understand the differences, and you understand why generations before have had issues. That is a form of education. Literacy is nothing. Educate yourself. But at the end of the day, when you go outside of Nigeria, you see what we don't understand, how privileged we are as Nigerians to exist in a country where you are the majority. That is, everything you see, breathe, and eat is black people. Wealthy people are black people. People in control are black. So it doesn't ever occur in your mind that you are black. You don't actually think about it beyond maybe if you're particularly darker skin, and then colorism comes in, and we have colorism issues as well in Nigeria. Look at you black, like it's negative. I'm like, bro, it's a color we all part of. Why discipline in life will save you every single time where talent fails or where skill. Like talented people, they're boku for road. For student with the drum buckets. I'm sorry for being an asshole. Talent's full for streets.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to work with a dick. Nobody wants to work with a lazy person. I would choose the hardworking motherfucker every day on my team over a talented, lazy shit. Like I just won't do it. Because who wants headache? Especially in Nigeria.
Bata. Box.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Welcome to the Butter Box podcast. My name is Benji. Yes, it's been a good week so far. I don't know if I'll say it's been a good week, but Lagos will be Lagos. And yes, you know what I do on the show. I bring to you amazing guests to have wonderful conversations with, and today is no exception. I have a very, very interesting woman right here with me. Her name is Folu Storm. She's an actress and also media personality. How are you doing this afternoon?
I'm excellent, Benji. Thank you for inviting me. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm good. It's really nice to see you after all these years.
Yes, it's good to see you.
So what have you been up to, man? I've been seeing all your posts on social media, and I would say you've been doing a lot, but just tell us, what have you been up to?
Do I even post that much on social media? That's the first question. I'm working on it.
Yeah.
I've been doing a fair amount. I've been living mostly, just doing my best. Learning how to adult, because adulting is pro max right now.
No, it's crazy.
I don't know if you hear to people like that, but like things are different.
Yeah.
But it's been good. I'm very thankful. I'm very blessed. I've sort of grown a lot within myself. Just my own comfort levels, mentally, physically, work-wise as well. Things are looking good in terms of TV hosting, general radio work. As an actor as well, in my acting career, I think is growing in leaps and bounds.
We can see it. All of us, we are seeing it.
For which I'm very thankful. I put in a lot of work. I'm navigating life like everybody else, and I'm very thankful. I think there's been a lot of gratitude that I poured into my life over the last few years. Because let's never forget, guys, like we're still getting out of COVID. Businesses are still recovering from COVID. Individuals are still recovering from the impact of COVID. I know it's very easy for us to want to just move on. It's not scenes. It's not.
Nigerians are very good at moving on. Like no matter what this thing that hit us, whatever hit us, we are very good at moving on straight to the next thing, onto the next thing.
It's condition, my brother, because if you dwell too much in that moment, the stress can be a lot. But I get it. But I have learned a lot of important lessons about learning to sit with my feelings. October 2020 was hard for me. I don't know about anybody else. Like I literally grew up in Lekki phase 1. Like this is my village. Like I did ride bicycle like since 1994.
Wow.
It was
that
a village.
Long.
I'm not playing with you. It's my village.
Wow.
So like certain things that happened were very hard. Also, we've gone from being young adults. So I've gone from being a young adult to being the adultiest adult in any room since the last time we've seen. And there's something that events like that is something that those type of events do to your psyche or does to your psyche.
Yeah.
There's a tendency to want to give up emotionally, especially like on the country. Because I wouldn't say that I'm a patriotic Nigerian, but I'm a Nigerian.
Yeah.
Like I talk about my country. I rep my country wherever I go in the world. And in fact that, just even being out in the world has has been a very big motivator for that. Because wherever you go, no matter how you speak, no matter how you be, your name, your face, your skin, it's a big part of your identity. It says who you are and where you're from, and that's important. And where I'm from, we have a lot of phenomenal people in Nigeria. But when the state of where you're from, the government of the time does not seem to be acting in a manner consistent with how you feel as a Nigerian and how other young Nigerians feel, is heartbreaking. Excuse my French, I also swear a lot. It's going to be happening.
No, it's fine. All the expression, just let it out.
but that shit is fucked up.
Yeah.
It's really messed up. And I saw a lot of people traumatized. I was traumatized. I started actively seeking therapy. We all say that everybody needs therapy, but guy, you don't understand.
We need it.
That time, no, I refused to work. I was like, no.
Like
I had my international company.
Month, or...
Not all through, but I had like a steady work I was doing at the time with the brand that we know. That I'm on TV for as a TV host. And I said no. I was like, I don't care how everybody else thinks that's okay. I'm not okay. And that's not okay for me. And I need a moment. And you're going to find me a therapist. And they did, but that's a different story for another day.
That's interesting.
Have you ever, it's Nigeria. Problem no they finish.
At all.
Joke doesn't used to end.
At all.
Because when you begin to be the therapist for your therapist, that is... And then I realized, okay, it's not really a therapist, it's a counselor. And I know no counseling, but the counselor was she was motivated by me. I said, Ma.
You should have collected your money or you have collected it.
Well, I didn't pay, so I couldn't even be mad. And like, genuinely speaking, I think, as an older woman, she needed a certain level of connection.
Okay.
And I'm glad that I seem to be able to provide that for her. Because you never know what people are going through. And I remember just being like, yo, God, like the universe likes to mess with me sometimes. It's annoying being the most understanding person in the room all the time. It's annoying being the strong one. Like, I get it. I know. Fuck. Okay, I'll listen. Talk to me.
So are you thinking of like setting up something for yourself?
No.
Follow the life coach.
No. But what I will be sharing, and it's because somebody literally approached me about this, and I realized that it's a big part of my life. I've learned over the years to read up on and just nourish myself, my brain, and my soul with the best bits of information or guidance that I can find, just to help me navigate life. So I might be sharing some of that, but also with experts. I'm literally, I've spoken to a few people and just drawing in a few, spiritual leaders, yogis, however it is that you manage to navigate life.
Yeah.
Like, let's talk about it and let people share that information, because knowledge is power. And we're all just passengers in this boat of life.
Yeah.
So if we can make our fellow passengers a bit more comfortable, I think that's a good thing to do. So.
Interesting. Very
That's what
interesting.
I've been up to.
Yeah. So today is about you. We are going to be learning everything about Folu today. So if there's a lot of interviews that she has done actually, but if you're not opportune or if you have not seen any of those interviews, so this one is going to be like probably your last. Okay, let me not say your last, but this one is going to be the one where you should watch, because we're going to be talking a lot about Folu. So let's just start from the beginning, from the beginning. So you've obviously been an OG in the industry. You've been around for a very long time. For a very, very long time. And I just want you to tell me how the whole journey started for you, and if you chose this part of your career or the career chose you.
I like that. First, this is going to be the most updated of my interviews, so congratulations to those of you watching. There's no interview currently more recent than this.
Okay.
Life and time. I appreciate that you think I'm an OG, because it sounds like a compliment, so thank you.
Yeah, well, you are. Obviously, you're an OG, obviously.
Excuse me, Big Auntie Kate's Henshaw just celebrated her birthday today. Excuse me, there are OGs and there are OGs, you get me?
Okay.
But I respect that, and yes, I've been working for a while, a long time. Quick summary of how I got to here and how I got into entertainment: as an actor, voiceover artist, presenter, TV host, and radio host. And just general media executive, I guess. I started off as a lawyer. That's my training. That's my background. I do enjoy connecting person A to person B and just seeing how we can make our businesses flourish, how you can, how can we help
each other?
That's generally my mentality in life. And after qualifying even my law school here, working for a little bit, I realized that, underneath all of that was this real desire to not just connect people, but connect specifically Africans, young Africans, to help shape and mold how we see ourselves and how the world sees us. I've been fortunate enough to grow up as what I call a third culture kid, moving between Lagos and London primarily for a good portion of my young life and into young adulthood. So I feel like different cultures have shaped me because London, innit? Feel me? Storms.
Innit?
That's the only thing I know now because I'm in Nigeria. I don't have to feel among. But at the end of the day, when you go outside of Nigeria, you see what we don't understand how privileged we are as Nigerians to exist in a country where you are the majority. That is, everything you see, breathe, and eat is black people. Wealthy people are black people. People in control are black. So it doesn't ever occur in your mind that you are black. You don't actually think about it beyond maybe if you're particularly darker skin, and then colorism comes in, and we have colorism issues as well in Nigeria. Look at you black, like it's negative. I'm like, bro, it's a color we all.
And I don't think Nigerians or people that have not actually been out of Nigeria understand how really serious this is.
Let me break it down for you. The country we are in, no be we create them. No be we create them. Some English guys sat down and they just say, oh, let's just carve this land, which is why you have fundamental problems. And it's affected the way that black people see themselves, that Africans see themselves. It has really messed with our economy. Another thing that you should think about, for example, when you talk dollar day, right? Naira kinikoke. Do you know who created this artificial scarcity? Because it's an artificial scarcity. Yeah. Because the reality is Nigeria and Sierra Leone cannot trade on the same currency except dollar. US dollar. Now, Oyibo do. So understand that when I say generally speaking, in terms of world powers, the way that the white man views the black man, and I'm talking about government powers, not the nice individual that you know, not Chad, not Tom, who's your friend, not Lucy, she's cool. Some people are invited to the cookout, but fundamentally on a global level, there is a disproportionate way and a negative disproportionate positioning of black people, of Africans, Nigerians. Every time you think about fraud, Nigeria will come up. Yet, global fraud perpetuated by Nigerians is in the smallest percentage.
We're not even top 50.
50. You are going far, bro. It's small. It's small. But they will not open their mouths and say Rocha. Because Putin is bumping everybody currently. So they do apply caution when talking about certain people. So that informed my desire to enter media. And I said, I want to be involved in controlling the narrative. Yeah. And the first thing I did was I sort of created an idea for like a show. I pitched it to a couple of companies. I was like, oh, let's just go and see what young people do in different parts of Africa. And initially I called it the eccentric Africa.
Your love for travel came in.
Because that's my life. Like that's what I've grown up seeing. You understand very much that you think you know, but you have no idea. Yeah. You go around the world to come back and find home. And I'm not talking about even going outside far. Go to the neighboring states. Just go somewhere and see what's happening there. Go, see, be curious. You know, something also that our dictatorship governments did back in the day, our military governments did, is they instilled a spirit of fear. Yeah. So the average Nigerian is soaked in fear. You want to do anything? What if, my brother, relax. We're gonna die. Nobody's making it out alive. Yeah? Yeah. No bother. We're not making it out alive. So, my dear, my bro, you better go outside and explore, because when you go, you find so many similarities. Yeah. And then you understand the differences and you understand why generations before have had issues. That is a form of education. Literacy is nothing. Educate yourself. Because if you find person when if you speak English, they can barely speak pidgin English, but my God, they have traveled and they understand humans. And that's what we need to do. That's what media does. It is the narrative that needs to be controlled. And only now that we're seeing the liberalization of media, because technology has become much more affordable. Yeah. So we're seeing the rise of our stories. We're seeing how we're influencing global culture. That has been my motivation. That's how I got into media. So I pitched this to a few companies. They were like, we don't know you, sis. So we don't care about this thing. Yeah. And then, one or two things happened. I somehow landed a job on a radio station because they liked the way I spoke and they tested me out on air one time. It worked out. Shout out to Shola Thompson. He was one that literally dragged me on air. And HR did not know that I was hired. Shola.
Wow.
Shola Thompson hired me. HR did not understand what was happening. So after 1 month, I said, how far salary? They said, who are you? In summary, that's kind of what happened. But we forced their hand, and obviously I got paid. No, really, that's how I got my first job, my first radio station in media.
Crazy.
And then after that, MTV started doing a VJ search. I remember saying to myself, "Well, girl, don't sit in your house and be looking at TV and say I can do it better than that. Go and put your money where your mouth is."
Yeah.
I pitched up for that.
I watched you.
Did you?
I did. I was actually rooting for you and Ahiz.
Oh, is it?
I was actually rooting for you and Ahiz.
Thank you. I was rooting for myself. I felt I deserve. We're still going to do battle. We're going to do battle, bro. I've not forgotten. No, and I didn't win. And I actually remember right after that, I think I got my first tattoo or my second. It was my second tattoo I got right after that.
What was it? What did it say?
For we walk by faith, not by sight. And I have it on my foot.
What inspired you? How did you?
Because, bro, I lost. I don't think you understand. A lot of things were on the line for me at that time. Because don't forget, I'd left a legal career that was stable. My father's a lawyer. He has a law firm. I quit his law firm.
How did he?
Oh boy, that's the most awkward conversation I've ever had in my life. I look back and I was like, I get mine that time, Sha. My 20-year-old self, I had mine. No, I had mine. And I didn't understand. My parents would be like, you're bold. And I'll be like, what are they talking about? Because everything I've done, I've done with the taste of fear in my mouth. I think even Beyonce said that recently. So Bey and I...
Twinning.
No, but for real, I'm afraid. Like, you don't know how... My guy, it's a risk. Like, law is steady. I know what's happening. I know what that is. I trained for that. I studied for that. This media life, who was there to help me? Who do I help? Help her. No, I don't know. I didn't know anybody. But I was like, okay, I think I can do it. Just try, see what will happen. And that's literally what I did. And I promise you that the universe is rooting for you to win. God is putting in your way every single thing that you need to succeed, to thrive. You have it. It's about paying attention. And literally, I would just meet people. I'd run into people, whatever. And I just started becoming more and more exposed to the media world. And then even though I lost out on that VJ search, somebody from MTV called to say, yo, some people from some company called Ndani want to talk to you. I was like, who is that? What is an Nda? Ndali? They said, no, it's run by a bank. Now, my lawyer brain was like, bank means steady job, means money. Better take that meeting. So I went there and had a meeting with Jade Osibiru. And I pitched Jade my whole travel thing. I was like, I don't even know if she even asked me that question. All I remember was that this one was in my heart. And this I got my radio jobs. I was like, let me tell you what I want to do. I want to do this. I will discover Africa and show the world Africa, the world Africa. And Jade actually listened to me.
You were sounding like a mini Burna Boy.
I thought I was crazy. Even I heard myself and I was like, babe, there's something wrong with you because what are you saying? And she was like, okay. And then I got a work contract. And because I'm a lawyer, I read that work contract and I was sure I was going to be fired in like 2 weeks. That was the termination notice clause. I was like, 2 weeks, I'm going to lose this job.
What was it, the contract?
It wasn't a job as a presenter.
Oh.
It was a job as a producer and a presenter. Wow. And then they had a list of things you were supposed to do, like running TV show. Oh boy, where I go learn run TV show from now? Nah. Where I join entertainment? Where I join manage, present,
wow.
TV. I was like, well, she spoke to me. They have given me offer. I'm going to accept this offer because I said I want to do, and when I decided to do media, like a lawyer, I had a template. I was like, Ryan Seacrest, globally, Ike Osakio do it locally, because those were people doing radio, television, and film to a certain extent. And I was like, if you're going to do media, you're going to do media. You're going to do all of it. There's the plan. There's the template. Begin to work accordingly. Yeah. So I signed up that contract. I was so scared. The first people, and we were working out of, we were literally just leaving 1004. That's when Danny started. A little office. Frank Donga.
Yeah, I remember.
Etim Efyong, Daniel. He was a producer there as well. And other people you may not know, Femi Bangbeto. All these people who are instrumental in media right now. And Jade, our able captain and leader, Mohammed Atta. It was like, listen, the dream team, bro. And obviously I didn't know it at the time. We didn't know it at the time. But I always say that Ndani was creative oxygen. It gave me tools and access and internet. And that was really what we needed. More than everybody. Every time I'd be like, I want to learn this. More would just be like, yeah, go on YouTube. That's what we're doing. To edit, go on YouTube. So I learned how to edit. I learned how to go through stuff. Like, it was insane. And really, this is my travel show. Literally, like, after I did 1 or 2 shows, whether there's Fashion Insider, Young CEO, there's a couple of things, and you can all find them still online, which is the great thing about digital, you know? She was like, yeah, so this travel thing, let's talk about it. And I was like, fuck. no, for real. Like, this babe's gonna, give me this. And that's how I started building my travel show. I called it The New Africa. And I really was like, it's a lifestyle. Let's just go around and see.
Yeah.
Because we weren't as exposed to the rest of Africa at the time, and the rest of Africa was not as exposed to us. And I'd like to think that in my small little way, that began to like open up doors and get people to explore. And even till now, I still get comments on the Ndani page being like, oh, when is this coming back? When is this happening?
Wow.
And things just kind of went on from there. I worked for a few years at Ndani. Decided I also, my radio fired me. Oh yeah, that was the other thing. Oh yeah.
Why? What?
You guys did it. Oh, I skipped a whole part. When I tell you pressure is real
serious?
at every stage of your life, my G. Because after they saw me do that VJ search, they were annoyed. And I got
Really?
queried, even though I told them that I was going to do this. And I was like, why is there a problem? But they were having issues with different people. And they were like, get out. But it's fine. That was the period that I got to meet Wana Wana. And Wana's one of my closest and dearest friends till today. Dan Foster, rest in peace. Dan was like one of the best radio partners anybody could hope to have, especially in terms of knowledge and education. And Dan was the biggest kid. Oh my God. Dan loved radio. Dan didn't just love radio, like he was radio. I used to listen to radio because of Dan Foster. Radio was in my mind in Nigeria because of Dan Foster. So imagine what it's like working with this icon, this legend. Dan would have off days. I don't know what anybody else is going to tell you. He was not sweet all the time. Shout out Big Dog. He was not, and he would be laughing if you could see me. He was not, Dan some mornings would come and be like, oh Lord, school fees, oh Lord. And I'm like, what is wrong with this old man? What is really the problem? Let's do this show. But he was always so supportive right till the very end. And every time I see him, he'd be like, Folu, baby, I'm so proud of you. Like, I see what you're doing, girl. You're doing the thing, And it's also, meeting people like Dan, people like Wana, people like Shola Thompson are part of the reason why I try to extend a lot of warmth to people who are working and who are in the space and just trying to figure it out, especially if you're already I think going in the right direction. From what I can see, we're all just trying to figure it out. Nobody knows what's happening.
Yeah, sure.
So supporting each other, again, this journey called life. Oh boy, well, do you know what best? So if you can do that, that's excellent. So from Ndani, I left and went back to another radio station. Shout out Smooth. I was running the morning belt. And I remember some people being really worried. They were like, oh, but you're so vibrant. And, my first radio job was really high energy. And they were like, Smooth, don't let them dull your shine. So I say, see, the person that is running this station successfully is not mad. What does he want? We can make it work. So shout out to Mr. Fash, if he ever gets to see this. One of the most interesting bosses I've ever had, but also helped to grow me in a lot of ways because it forced me to think outside of my comfort zone. And that's when my true lawyering skills started coming in. I learned to adapt to what the station needed, what that sound was. But it also reminded me of things that I love. I love information. I'm a geek on the inside and the outside too. I love good information. I love sharing knowledge. I love educating people. And running the morning show on Smooth allowed me to do that. It allowed me to tell young people in a very relatable way because I'm like, communication is communication.
Yeah.
News shouldn't be abstract. It's not something in the sky. It's what's affecting you and me. I'm like, yo, did you know that currently this is the price of this? Do you know the government said this? How do you feel about it? Me, I don't feel so great. Are you feeling great? Are you not feeling great? And that was dope. But just before that happened, the opportunity through AFRIF, the African International Film Festival, to go to Los Angeles to a film school, the Relativity Media Film School came up, and I grabbed it because any opportunity to train and to grow my craft, I do it. And I decided to also take my front of camera work a lot more seriously. And that was in all ramifications. So I, did this intensive month training at Relativity Media Film School, specifically in acting. And then came back and I remember not getting any acting jobs. And I was like, Lala, what do I do? Because Lala was with me, Lala Adeswa, Linda Ihoma Ejiofor, Ogidi Gada Gideon. These are listen, I've been with a lot of all-stars, Judy Dada, Tony and Bad. There's so many excellent humans that were in that first inaugural batch. Yeah. And shout out to Afri for making that possible. And Lala actually gave me one of the best pieces of advice I'd ever received at the time. And she said, the problem is people still think of you only as a radio person. So on your social media, you have to start posting some of your acting work. I was like, how a person go post acting work when they don't get acting work? What's this guy saying? She said, no, but even our little, because we had to produce little short projects while we were away. So even our short little acting projects, I was like, oh, let me just put little clips. And the thing is, when we all start out creatively, we have taste. A lot of us have like really high taste, but our skill is down here. So what we're doing is we're trying to get our skill level up to our taste level, but it takes a lot of work in between. So I saw this little acting projects that we'd done at school, and I was like, but he's rubbish. My acting is not giving. In my brain, I was giving Meryl Streep. In the film, it's less than that. But I started posting anyways, and the first audition offers came in. I was like, oh, I go do a couple of things. I then got big shout out to Victor Sanchez, Agawa. Vic Sanchez, I think shortly after that, he got me or asked me to play one of the lead roles or the secondary character of an online web series that he was going to create with Tatafo HQ. It's on YouTube. It's called Man of Her Dreams. Man of her dreams, man of her dreams, man of her dreams. Yeah. Shout out to Sonia Irabo for coming up with that theme song on the spot because she plays the ukulele.
Wow.
Because she's just that person. How many Nigerian girls still play ukulele? What is the ukulele? But she played, and I love her for it. And we had such a dope time. It was such a nice experience shooting with them. And so I got a bit more work, and then I'd audition. But then I kept getting invited for auditions, and I wouldn't really land these big roles, and I was so stressed. At one point, I remember being like, African Magic, they're not serious. They don't like to see my face. You don't be inviting me. I'm not going again. I'm not.
So, like, how many African Magic auditions?
Oh my, I can't remember, bro. I auditioned my ass off. A big shout out again to, I'm name dropping a lot, but I just also, it's nice to share that a lot of people have been instrumental in my journey. I remember running into Wangi after I got a certain role, and I'll come back to that. But I remember she said to me, I know you kept auditioning. We're looking at you, but it just wasn't fitting. And now we found the one that fits. I said, okay. And that was before she left AFMAG. But I was focusing a lot on my presenting and hosting. And I was like, well, I'll just keep auditioning. Maybe there'll be other things. And I'll do small projects here and there, which was nice. I remember being in Ibadan for a particular TV project with a mobile company brand. But actually, just before I went to Ibadan, I got an invite again to audition. I saw it was going to be an African Magic, and I was like, oh,
here we go again.
They like wasting time, bro. And they're like, oh, just, good for the audition. And the audition was, I remember Eric Moore in Surulere. I had to drive from Lekki. I did think many things that day. I said, why? For what? And I remember just telling myself, don't be that person. They're looking for opportunity. They're offering opportunity. Just go. Even if you know what the outcome is, just go. It's like acting is also, it's a muscle. You have to use that muscle so that it gets stronger and stronger. Use it like any skill set. Use it or lose it. That's kind of it, right? And I remember going for the audition, and it said, this is a read. And technically a read, like you use your script and you kind of perform it, but with the script. And as soon as I started doing that, the person auditioning me, who I now know to be Uche Kemjiba, who I love so much, she was like, go outside and learn it. I come back. In my brain, I was like, fuck these people. What the fuck is it reads? Went outside, I learned the thing, went back in, I performed my little heart out, and I just left. And I didn't think anybody was going to hire me. And I was in Ibadan for this job I was telling you about. And I kept getting all these missed calls, but the signal was terrible. Because you know how phone companies like to behave sometimes. We begging them for signal. And I had sent a message. I was like, please just send me an email. I can't hear you. Knowing in my heart that a lot of people get very offended by that. But there's nothing I can do because it's a practical solution. So you people should stop being in your feelings. It's only said, please text me or please email. Please text or please email. There's a reason that phone call.
Most people don't like texting though.
Who cares what you like? Is it business or are we homies? What the fuck? That's my real life attitude, guys.
Yeah.
And I get it. A lot of people don't like it and they can't deal with it. You know, consign me. Not my problem. But immediately Uche was like, cool, this is what it is. We're offering you the role. This is how much it is. We can't go above this. And I love directness. I love when people are just clear and to the point. Don't waste anybody's time. We're all busy. And so I was like, love it. Thank you so much. I accept it. And that was how I got the job for... Well, it's not about being cool with it. I knew that it was more than fair at the time.
Okay.
For what it was. My presenting money and my acting money at the time were very imbalanced.
Okay.
What I could command as my fee as a presenter, I could not command as an actor because I was not that good an actor at the time. I'm starting out, right? Okay. But I appreciated this was like a lead role. This was a thing. there was a lot that was going into it. And I think about all the ramifications. I think about how much time I'm going to spend acting. I think, and that's good for me because it was a skill I needed to develop, and I needed the creative oxygen to let really like catch it alight. And I felt like this was going to give me that space. And it was a decent enough quality production because of Ndani, I was very conscious of the quality of production and how my physical appearance would be perceived, because media, that's what we do.
Exactly.
It's important. And that was season 1 of Unmarried. And Unmarried is 4 seasons deep. That was the one. And I got to meet Enado for the first time. And I got to meet Venita for the first time. And I didn't know these girls from Adam. But the way that we bonded and clicked was excellent. And it came through so nicely on the show. And I really just loved the whole team. Anis, our director, just everybody that created space and held space for me to do what I needed to do when I needed to do it. And the same with the other girls. The Unmarried family were phenomenal. And I really do credit Unmarried with giving me the latitude and the space to really play with my acting range and for people to see where I could reach as an actor. Because from that, I would get more calls for more types of works and types of auditions. Yeah, so I really credit Unmarried with giving me that space to really display my acting chops, as they say. Yeah. Because the quality of roles that I've been offered since, it's mostly leading roles, unless I decide that the leading role is not that interesting to me, which happens. I always ask for a script. Some people get annoyed by it. I don't see why.
So you turn down some scripts that doesn't sit well with you?
Yes. Okay. Yes. But there's a way that I'm not like, oh, I can't. It's not good enough. No, I would never do that. Never. I just won't be available. Like my schedule won't work, whatever it is. Especially depending on, because I've now learned since then, as much as it's nice to be very professional, and I am a very professional person, I recognize that the environment I operate in, there's a line at which sometimes professionalism can come across as rude. And it is never my intention to deliberately offend, or it's rarely ever my intention, and not never.
Rarely.
Sometimes I will look you for eye, tell you my mind. But it's rarely ever my intention to offend you. So I will always look for the best way to communicate to the person that is reaching out to me at that time to explain, that I'm going to move on, that it doesn't work for me. Like I had a situation not too long ago where the role that was being offered it was a very small feature role, which I'm happy with because it's less demand on my time. Because we still cannot afford to pay actors here yet, or we still don't pay actors what they're really worth here. And to be honest, in Nigeria, we don't pay people what they're really worth, period. Yeah, but I believe that the exploitation when it comes to actors is greater, especially because you're using that person's image and likeness in perpetuity. And you're using it to make money in perpetuity. So, yeah, it's rubbish in Nigeria, particularly, but it's cool. It's cool. Really come. Waits for us.
Looking back at where you started, obviously you've been through a lot in the whole industry, in the whole media industry. Looking back at that and where you are right now, would you say it gets easier for you? For example, in landing roles, I mean, someone could just call you up and give you do you get more lead roles now, if I can put it that way?
No, I mean, not necessarily, because there's no such thing as gets easier. You get more comfortable with yourself.
Okay.
You get more. Well, I have gotten more comfortable with the reality of hard work being necessary to achieve things.
Yeah.
And I think as a younger version of myself, I was very resistant to unnecessary levels of work. I said, why? Why must it all be so tough?
So what's changed?
Life.
Wow, okay.
Because also you only cheat yourself when you take shortcuts to get anything. And I say this knowing wholeheartedly that I exist in a country where people are always looking for the fastest route. I'm not saying that the fast route is necessarily bad, but if you're cheating somebody, you're duping somebody, you're cutting corners, it'll catch up with you in the end. Because you see, where this life works, that lesson you don't want to learn now, it will still jam you for front. So learn it. whatever difficulty you're going through, understand that difficulty. It's part of why I developed a proper gym habit. It's part of why, I wake up, I'm a 5 a.m. club person. Like I'm up at 5:30. It's discipline in life will save you every single time where talent fails or where skill, like talented people, they boku for road, for street, and the drum buckets. I'm sorry for being an asshole. Talent full for streets.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to work with a dick. Nobody wants to work with a lazy person. I would choose the hardworking motherfucker every day on my team over a talented, lazy shit. Like I just won't do it. Because who wants headache? Especially in Nigeria. Do you know how many sound guys I cut off like my team that I wouldn't work with? I'm not gonna hire you, bro. Because on my set you are here. You want to give Rita Dominic chokehold because you want to take selfie? Be like say you're mad. You know what I'm talking about. You know yourself. You fucking know yourself, this guy. I couldn't believe it. No.
The sound guy.
Sound guy.
He wants to take a selfie.
On top of selfie. Come, let's on the snap. Like she looked. Oh God, wait till I no see for this life. Nothing when Musa no go see for gate. This guy he hooked Rita Dominic.
He was probably a very big fan. And you could not handle it.
I think that bro was drunk. And there's a level, I don't give a shit how big a fan you are. If you are working, be professional.
Yeah.
We go open our mouth and pay me. Have you seen what your counterparts are doing internationally? You see ball boy, they go stand beside Beckham, stand beside Henry. Just they'll stay, their face will be forward, but their whole body, but their face will be like. You now tell me you.
Wow.
Guy, maybe feed that myself. Like, let me not drag anybody. But yeah, like so for me, nothing has really come easy. I still don't get a lot of roles.
Okay.
I think there are things in fact, let me tell you now that it's out, I just realized recently what something I auditioned for that I didn't get. And I was like, shit, man, I would have been excellent. But an audition is an audition. Like people, the person casting is trying to see and believe that they can see you in that role. And not everyone will believe they can see you in that role. But Blood Sisters. Oh, I know, right?
Are you serious?
Should have been me. No, not the lead roles though. No, but the role, Gabby Lucci's what? Kehinde Bankole's role.
Now you mention it, I can actually picture it right now because Crime and Justice, like everything is now.
No, it's cool. I didn't even know what I was auditioning for at the time, and that's the thing. Wow. You just learn. You just get better each time. And I've auditioned for like international companies where the project never went through. I did just finish though. I mean, I did Crime and Justice Lagos, which is like the best. Oh my gosh, Crime and Justice stretched my soul.
I have a clip of my phone. I'm going to show you after this interview. I think that was like the funniest part. That was like the funniest thing you've done.
Crime and Justice stretched me because you're dealing with the idea of a fictional unit of the Nigerian police who are solving, some, really emotional crimes. Because at the end of the day, it was really just a very emotional drama.
Yeah.
But there were a lot of scenes. There were a number of scenes that required me to be physically at my peak. And they'd ask me, I remember Yinka Edward, shout out to Yinka, our able captain, we will follow you, leader. We will follow that man. Asking when they offered me the role, if I was comfortable with doing stunts or if I wanted a stunt double, I was like, I will do everything. Like,
so you did the stunts yourself?
Of course.
Crazy.
I was upside down sitting up. Are you take me for a joke, sir?
Wow.
This my gym life is serious. Don't play with me. I train like I'm training for zombie apocalypse. In this Nigeria, it be like say we dey test run riot team periodically. So you guys know in case they catch you somewhere, can you jump fence? Can you do pull up? No, I'm serious. You are laughing, but I'm so serious.
It's actually
I'm
true.
Deadly serious. If you exist in a country like Nigeria, if you exist on the African continent, and you cannot haul ass, if you run,
you can't jump fence.
You can't move yourself. Oh, I'm sorry for you.
Cannot be that.
Because kasa they boss anytime. Get up and just. So listen, normally I was a sprinter through school anyways. So like it was just something that I got to tap back into. And I remember I really connected to my joy of just movement. And movement is life. It keeps your machine well oiled. We keep talking about, oh, God give us long life. If you don't move, you're not going to have long life. It's as simple as that. I'm so sorry. It's a big factor. The science is there. The evidence supports it. Move right, eat right. 30 minutes a day at least, you should be active. We live such a sedentary life. You sit down for a chair, that's all you're doing. I mean, if you're running and jumping for bus and that's your life, that's why people stay. But the second they get a little bit of money, You get a little bit comfortable. That's why people blow up. Because your habits are bad anyways. And you were just waiting for life to just soft you small. Not small soft life touch you. Y'all lose God. Nah, bro. Nah. So crime and justice really stretched me. And acting wise as well, emotionally, it really stretched me. Big shout out to our directors, Onye Agenti, as well as Mac. I call him Mac Daddy. But Mac is excellent as well. It was really, really cool. Mac Kasuri, Kusare. I keep messing up Mac's name. I'm dyslexic, guys. Help me. I try. So I do get decent offers. I don't always get those offers. I work very hard for those opportunities.
So speaking about crime and justice and your role in that series, have you ever had any experience with the Nigerian police? How was that?
Who no gets experience with Nigerian police? Can you say you live in Lagos? First, if I even just in today's day and age, Lekki phase 1.
That's like their HQ. That's their HQ. That Lekki phase 1, and you know that conservation center,
bruh,
that road.
Then I'm small. We were being chopped knuckle for us. Hey, bros, out now. No, I'm serious. My interactions with Nigerian police are always very interesting because one, I'm very cognizant of the fact that these are humans.
Yeah,
they're humans who are doing a very hard job, who their reputation precedes them and is almost always negative. But not all humans are bad all the time. Right? Not all humans are always bad all the time. People have good days, people have bad days. And as a Nigerian, I feel like intuitively, most of us know that if you connect to someone's humanity, we're cool. Because we're really cool people. We're very warm people. I remember one experience with a police officer years ago. I was probably coming back from one concert. You know, if you pass concerts, I go to roundabouts. We know I'm jam you there. And they are packed enough young people. Back. I say, as the wound down, God help me, Officer Frank. Remember his name. You know the name is there. It's Officer Frank. Oh, I see as your skin they shine. Which soap are you using? Bro, he never expected it.
The man will think that you're drunk.
He started blushing. Nah, I told Samo there and there. I said, officer, no, talk to me because it's not right. Look at me, woman. Do you know how many chemicals I'm buying to be rubbing my skin? You just see at night. You don't rub small soap. No, which soap? I said, officer, he goes up today. Which soap? And so we both had a good laugh, and he was like, "It's okay, so, madam, they're good." You know, and it's humanity.
Yeah,
we bond over laughter. Same during shooting Crime and Justice. I remember driving home at a crazy hour of the morning, and I never liked driving solo at that time, but sometimes needs must. And as I expected, as I goes roundabout, their block, that roundabouts of Ikoyi to Lekki, and then normally I see police officer in police officer uniform. Boy, I looked to my right of the road. And he was one man with gun. He did not look like he was wearing police uniform shirts. I say, don't be. Come catch me today. I'm robber. Oh my G. I say, I cannot outrun bullets. So better you just keep your car very still. I saw this man sauntered. I mean, he sauntered around the front of my car like a predator. You know as killer they move.
Yeah.
When they look you, they walk out. Now only him. Nobody else there for road. No car. Thank God. I started thinking, so your parents now will just see that. Can you be a young Nigerian if you have not had a similar or some kind of experience where it's just you and police and you're really not sure whether it's really police or alternative police. You understand?
Assistant police.
You understand the vibe? He just did like this. He didn't even talk. He just did like this for me to wind down. Good morning, officer. Good morning. I did greet you. I said, yeah. I said, good morning, officer. I did greet you. He said, no, me greet you, pass. I now understood the signal. I started scrambling. He now looked at me. Where are you coming from? Where are you going? I said, officer, I've been working. I'm tired. As you see me now, I'm just going to go and bath. I have to go back to set. He said, I hope you know. Body no be firewood. Be careful.
Wow.
Or arrest.
Damn.
Bruh, I had that was the last thing. So I looked at him. I was like, thank you, officer. Thank you. It's okay. Go home.
Wow.
That was our interaction. So you never know. They're just humans and they recognize our humanity. I've just learned that don't meet people with violence immediately unless they have given you a concrete reason and unless this is a direct and immediate threat, in which case, put down with as much extreme violence as you can. Prison rules. But not a guy with a gun. But Nigerian police and I, generally speaking, I don't always have positive interactions. But generally, I don't really have problems with Nigerian police. Yeah.
I'm very sure a lot of Gen Zs and younger people they are going to like disagree with you on this, because I actually see where you're coming from. Because normally now, I think right now as a young Nigerian, when you're being approached by a police, the first thing that comes to our mind, you understand? The first thing that comes to our mind is that, oh, this guy wants to, extort and all of that. And he's not going to sit well with us. Yes. And we are always going to try to fight for our rights. We're always trying to tell them what our rights is.
Yeah.
And I think that is what, it irritates them, that we are actually telling them they are our own rights and, trying to act on it.
So I find that some people, it's not just Nigerian police, like, my approach, I'm not going to dictate for anybody, and I really recognize and I understand why people want to challenge what they feel is the status quo all the time. Yeah. And it is your right to challenge. Understand that, one, you can't really argue with a gun.
Yes.
It's not really an argument you're going to come out on the better side of. Two, what is the level of understanding of the person you're talking to? And I apply that in all conversations. It is not everybody that can reason at your level.
Yeah.
So what are you doing trying to reason with someone that can't reason at your level? And three, not everything has to be a fight. Don't allow, that's one thing I've learned from my father. Yeah, no, I've learned watching my dad. I've learned watching older people, because sometimes you wonder why older people are so slow. And it's not that they're slow, they're thinking. They process their thoughts before they become words. They process those words because words become action. You've got to take a moment to think. And the younger we are, the more impetuous we are, the more impatient we are. Yeah. We're everything they born, because in our minds, somewhere in our minds, even though we know that death is real, like, it's not really a real thing to a lot of young people.
Yeah.
You're not really confronted with your reality regularly, unless maybe like me, you were confronted with death very, very young. And then it's just, you are always waiting for, like, okay, is this another phone call? Is that a phone call I'm going to get? And you don't know if it's you don't know if it's someone, like, you don't know. But a lot of people, generally speaking, the first time they experience anyone close in their family passing, in fact, a friend of mine just experienced someone close in his family passing at age 30. Actually, it's wild to me. Yeah. My introduction to death was 10. That was my mom.
Yeah.
You see, when you lose your mother, you lose your parents, or a child, it crystallizes a number of things in your brain.
Yeah, very true.
There is nothing in life that is permanent. And there is nothing that you cannot overcome. No matter how bad that thing be, are you still alive? You'll be all right. It is well. The old people of Nigeria's anthem.
It is well.
Because it must be.
Yeah.
It must be. So I just feel like with young people, just be mindful. And also, second, if you want to talk police, no problem. Never you open your mouth. They try reason with soldier. You go chop slap.
Yo, that's another.
If you have to say anything that will make you have to say more than 3 words to soldier. In fact, just pray first. Say you never cross soldier. Make soldier turn won't talk to you.
Damn.
Problem don't start. Because from where to where will soldier be talking to a civilian? There's no reason. Soldiers do not interact with civilians. So if a soldier is interacting with a civilian, there's already a problem. So let me just tell you, if you are interacting with a soldier whose job it is to kill and to defend and to attack, you better have yes and no responses ready. Anything we go require too many English. You just see his face, and he slapped, that will follow. And that soldier slap, they break neck.
Folu, I'm going to tell you a story now. Since you mentioned slap, I don't think anybody who has been slapped by a soldier would understand. Anybody who has not been slapped by a soldier would understand. Before that time, I've actually been seeing comedians, coming up with jokes and stories about if soldier slap you, Folu, 2018. Wait, 2018, Obalede, I was interning at TVC then.
See, as the memory crystal clear.
I can never forget. It's not how would you forget that kind of story? 2018 at Obalede, I didn't even just know what happened. It was just a rush. I was rushing to come down from the bus and, to just cross to the other side. And I just came down. You know how people are very impatient. Everybody, once the driver stops, everybody wants to come down. And I was in that rush. And I just came down and I stepped on this soldier. Like, there was no even opportunity to say, oh, sorry, sir, or to say, oh, who did I step on? I didn't even know who I stepped on. As I was turning my face,
everything
the slap was returning me. and you know how people always say, if soldier slap you, you will not hear anything.
Yes.
Like, after this man slapped me, this man was saying something. I was not.
He has joggled
I
your
was not
brain.
hearing anything for like 1 minute. I could not hear if he was even apologizing or he was saying anything or he was explaining himself. I could not hear anything for 1 good minute. So I can totally relate to Soldier Old. Like police is like we are even trying to like drag with them, but Soldier, don't even go there. Don't even go there. Those
Sorrows,
guys.
sorrows, prayers.
Every opportunity I get to tell this story, I make sure I tell you guys so that you guys understand the level. I mean, it's crazy, very crazy.
Yeah.
And going into the content, the world of content now, how tech has really enabled content to fly around, and everybody has some sort of ownership when it comes to distributing content on the internet and the media space. Do you think the traditional media houses are losing their power or they are losing their grip when it comes to like distributing this content?
Yes. And I love it for us.
You love it. You love it. Well,
I feel like I need to play like the Wicked Witch of the East at some point. I have the best evil laugh. But yes. Wow. No, let me tell you why. It's the liberalization of media. And there's really nothing that traditional media houses can do about it.
Yeah.
So globally, and you'll notice it, a lot of global media houses are consolidating. For example, I was in New York recently and I learned that National Geographic and its national news had shut down their whole print media arm, more or less. So they've consolidated a lot and it's happening more and more in a number of places. At the time I started working in media already, I started working in a non-traditional media house. So in my mind, I was like, this is the future. Like, it's like guerrilla warfare. You're going to have small units and small fighters and you're going to do the most with that. So media always evolves. Technology and media are like 5 and 6, so it goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
So I think that what we're going to continue experiencing is the rise of the multi-hyphenate, the multi-potentialate, like people who can do multiple things.
Yeah.
I think it's important to understand tech, understand AI, understand how it fits in and how it can help you do your job better. I do not believe that it will replace humans ever. That's just not possible because it's creativity at the end of the day. And I don't see technology evolving creatively because if you use, and I test run not all, but I test run a few AI bits of software from time to time, and you notice the responses are very generic. When you ask certain things, it requires a lot of specific human input to come out with creativity, and the creativity is you know?
Yeah.
You can't really change that. It's a natural thing. So yeah, it's definitely going to affect the way media houses continue to function. But I'm curious to see what that new form is, which is why I just say empower yourselves, learn as much as you can. Wherever you see creative oxygen, you see opportunity to grow, you see value, because value isn't just money. It's not just currency. Currency is one form of value.
Yeah.
But look at opportunities as value adds to yourself, and take those opportunities, because if you're only chasing money, you're losing out like dramatically. Yeah. So money is good. I like money. Feel free to squeeze small 2,000 pounds into my account anytime.
I saw that today.
Help us breathe better.
Right.
Support the oxygen flow. Send Forex. But I don't make decisions based on just money. It's a factor, but it's not the whole factor. Value is the biggest deciding factor for me. How I'm gaining value and how I am giving value.
So Folu, you've managed to stay out of so many scandals and basically stay out of like news, like stay out of the news.
Manage, like
yeah, you have. You're because the industry basically, you can relate. The industry is based on clout chasing. Like there is a lot of clout chasing in the industry, but you surprisingly, we never see Folu in the news for whatsoever reason. We never see you in the news. We never hear anything odd or anything that would want us to question you for anything.
Maybe I should be more scandalous. I need more scandal in my life.
And you have a lot of colleagues that they've been going in and out blogs and all of that. So what is the secret of how have you been able to just stay you and, be on your lane?
I don't know. How have you been able to stay? Bruh, I just did my deal. Like, I maybe if you're asking me, like, what should people do who maybe
Yes.
want a career that could end up putting them in front of the limelight, do to stay like scandal free? I'm like, just do you. And I'm probably not going to be quote unquote scandal free forever. People, what I do for a living, right, is not try to be famous. That's not my job description. It's not my role. It's not a life desire or goal of mine. I'm not interested in fame. I never really have been. I understand that by virtue of being excellent at what I do, people may be aware of me. My goal as an actor especially is to be like Daniel Day-Lewis. I don't know if you know him, but he's a phenomenal thespian. Daniel Day-Lewis I think he's the highest paid actor in the world, possibly. Wow. If not, he's the second highest, but he's one of the highest. He does one film every 4 to 5 years.
Wow.
And he just minds his business.
Crazy.
That's the goal. Like, success and fame is a byproduct of me being good at my job. It's not the goal for me. Maybe some people end up in hot water more often than not because the goal is fame. And if you want people to know about you, people are going to know about you. The more you put of your personal life and things that have nothing to do with your work in the public sphere, the more you're telling the public they have a right to comment on that personal part of you. My page is not personal. It's a work page. Like, I'll talk about like things, I'll joke with you, like I'll have, I will be a person on my page, but I'm not trying to expose my family members to the whole world. I'll do it sometimes because I'm a person, but it's not the goal of the page. I'm not trying to expose a personal life. I want to expose my work. I want to show you the different stories that connect us and how we see ourselves in the world and how that impacts us. I want to show you how I'm managing to live wholeheartedly and sanely. I'm trying to show you that it's possible to thrive on the African continent and as an African in the world. That's what I'm trying to show. So that's what I use social media and the media for. I don't use the media for my life. My life is my life. I exist as just an individual. So I think that's the answer to that.
Very interesting.
I'm actually really boring in real life. I think
really?
Benedict Cumberbatch also said that about himself. Because I get the opportunity to play some really feisty, really interesting characters. So the wildest parts of my brain and personality get to go into my job. I get to live multiple lives. Have you seen Tonya on the Men's Club? Yeah. The Men's Club is now available on Amazon Prime. Fucking love Tonya. She's a bad bitch. I was like, yeah, her villain origin story, I'm going to tell it. I love it. But I'm not that person in real life. There are aspects of me that could be that. But that's not the entirety of me, and I channel it into my work. So that's the scandalous part. Like, I'm happy to be scandalous for a character. But in my day-to-day life, I just want to walk my dog. Can we have more sidewalks and parks like in Lagos so that I can take my big-ass dog to a park without her scaring people on the road? Thank you.
So if eventually something was ever going to come out, what do you think it would be about?
Ooh. It will probably be that I lectured somebody to death. I was like, that was terrible behavior. It's probably about time. Probably someone was probably late. And they'll be like, and that's how Folu made somebody cry. I'm like, bitch, it wasn't my intention. I've done that. I've heard a negative thing I've definitely heard about myself is I can come across as, I think, a know-it-all. No one has ever said it that way, but I think there's an aspect of me that's a little bit imposing. So it comes across as, I know better than you. And it's never my intention. Or rarely ever my intention.
Rarely.
Let me be careful with my words. So if something came out, it would probably be that. I probably came across as a dick to somebody and they're like, fuck her, she's terrible in real life. Somebody wrote that on my Instagram one time.
Really?
I was shooketh. Somebody went on my Instagram and said that at one of these, back in the day when I still used to go to them, one of the first, I think, was second GT food and drink fair.
Yeah.
Might have been the first one. And someone was real mad that they were like, I tried to talk to you and da-da-da. And the thing is, I was not visiting, I was walking. So I can only imagine that possibly somebody tried to insist on taking a picture or doing something very fan-like.
Yeah.
while I was I'm not a celebrity. I'm a worker. I work. I have multiple jobs. I needed my employers to pay me for my work. Please, Sama.
So the person commented on your page.
Yeah, one of my pages, they were salty. And I responded. Yeah.
You responded?
Oh, no. But the other thing that happened, oh no, I probably shouldn't mention that. People are going to search for it. I wore something one time and people somebody on my page got really descriptive about my boobs. And they're like, it's horrible. It's this. I was like, you watch too much porn, bro. Like, that's what real tits look like. Like, I'm sorry. Like, it's a natural body. And sometimes I'll do that just as a corrective measure because everybody's dealing with enough in their lives. How many young babes are altering their bodies surgically with money they don't have to pay rent they have not paid? Because some nameless chubby motherfucker at the other side, like probably has like plaque probably all over his teeth and you're commenting on one fine babe's breast. You are stupid. Yeah, so that would be my scandal. Okay. Because I say I'm very polite, but I'm not nice. Don't ever get it twisted. What the older I get, or why I'm embracing my asshole tendencies.
Yes.
There's a very old poem, and I keep forgetting who it's written by, but I love it. The title is the title, but the first line is when I'm old, I shall wear purple and dance in the rain with a funny hat, kind of because I can. And it just shows that the older you get, the less constrained you are by the ideas of what constitutes a good person or a good woman, especially women.
Yeah.
Women are chained, especially in the African society, by so many random culture said. Who is culture? It's one old dead guy. Who the fuck is culture? What are you saying? At one point, culture used to be that we would choose everything. So what are we saying? And I think that for too long in a lot of people's lives, men and women, we allow perceptions of ourselves, men thinking, I have to be the breadwinner, I have to do this, so like we look at men in this society as like paychecks.
Yeah.
Or like their bank accounts. I'm like, that's a whole human in front of you. Sometimes we ignore our humanity for sake of titles or what society has said. So I love that when I say that I'm not really nice, niceness is something that has been used also to train women to act a certain way. That's not nice. You have to do like this. You have to, you date one idiot one time. One boy you just said maybe. It's pity. You used to pity the person one time. And people expect to be in the house doing like, let me do. Oh, I got it. For what? For what? Wild behavior. So I'm not really, I don't care. Like I'm generally polite to people. I generally try to respect people. But you see, the second my righteous indignation is triggered, and they have seen it on different sets.
I feel like you're the bossy type when it comes to being on set.
I'm just quiet until I'm not.
Okay.
And so I think it alarms people. You know when they say that it's the quiet ones.
Yeah.
So it worries people. When the person who's always chill and is usually calm and helps everything to function suddenly is like, fuck everything. I'm going to cause chaos. They're like, yo, what happened? What did we do? Because it means, especially for women, and you see it, mothers do it, they spaz out.
Yeah.
Because what's happened is that woman has said it again and again and again and again and again. And she's like, do you know what? Hold my cup. Let me show you. You're going to see something. Let me show you something. That's when they throw your favorite football boots outside. The house. Or they lock you outside the house because they said, come home at this time,
I've been locked outside the gate once. Like,
you are one of them.
3 times.
My female cousins have been locked out one time and they said like the security guy was so happy to lock them outside. He was like, yes, that is I should lock the gates because you're always coming back late to be outside. I was like, wow, and I'm so rude.
Wow.
So that's it. So no, generally speaking, I'm not bossy. I like people to do what they do. I'm really lazy. My dream is to make enough money to retire to my home that's between like the mountains and the beach with the forest and my dogs. And I'll just wake up, now go and swim. I eat fish. Now go back. That's it. That's the whole dream.
Wow,
with my nice family. That's it. Like
interesting.
Everyone would just go out to swim, we eat fish. Then when we're tired of being in that location, we enter our yacht. Then we yacht somewhere else. Then we go and swim and eat fish there.
Again.
As a half cross river baby, that's really just what I want.
Wow, nice. Really nice.
Just give me nature. I'm a wild woman on the inside, and the older I get, more the outside as well. It's nice.
Really interesting. Very, very interesting. So I'm going to ask you this last question and then I'll let you go, man. You've said a lot and I'm enjoying this conversation. We're probably going to continue this conversation on the WhatsApp call. So, looking at Nollywood right now and where it is, we've done a lot of there's been a lot of development, and Nollywood have been coming out really, really strong in the past years. But there's been concerns, because I don't know. There was one time on Twitter when a certain film came out, and people were talking about it, and someone said that yes, he enjoys watching the Timinis, the Nancys, and all of them, all the professionals, but Nollywood is not creating, quote, I'm quoting him right now. He said Nollywood is not creating a space for younger people, for people that actually do go for these auditions to actually get the opportunity to, show their talents or try and build what they think they have or what they have to, to come out there and shine. What do you think about that?
There was a Twitter Spaces I was on where this sort of thing was discussed as well. And I don't think that's necessarily true. I don't think it's entirely true. Generally speaking, around the world, casting agents tend to, or people who are casting for roles in general, tend to look in the places they look.
Okay.
So as an actor and a young actor, that's part of your job, right? You have to make sure you're present in those places they look. On your online profile, again, what is your Instagram for? Is it about posting where you went out and you got turned up and, you drank with people? That's it. People, when they're looking to cast people, sometimes they'll just check online and that's what they see. What are you putting out online? You have all the tools available to you to create certain levels of awareness. You can actually just sit down, you don't even have to go anywhere. On Netflix that you are borrowing somebody's password, or Showmax that you're borrowing somebody's password to watch, just go and look at names of producers at the end of projects and find them online and reach out to them. Say, I want to audition for something, send an audition tape. If you have a monologue, send a monologue tape. What's the worst that's going to happen? They'll say no. But guess what? You've made yourself known to somebody who previously didn't know you. That's how I got my career in entertainment. I just chased people. I just showed up. How did you get me on this podcast? You just sent me a message. You don't know until you try. Yes, it's true that there will be rejections. Yes, it's true that, but people are going to go for what they know. And if they're under time constraints, they're under pressure constraints. They don't, like, Nigeria is 200 plus million people. Who has time to be checking every nook and corner and cry? They'll come to your father's house or like your frat's house. That's not going to happen. So what I say is, really invest in yourself, and investing in yourself looks like putting out maybe regular reels of monologues, maybe going to more acting drama classes, maybe going to plays put on by people like Bolale Austin Peters, maybe looking online when you watch your favorite movie, or you're watching, maybe you don't watch a lot of Nollywood, start watching Nollywood and start looking in the end credits and say, who do I need to reach out to? Maybe it looks like reaching out to African. Just follow. If you follow producers, you will see when casting calls happen. I repost casting calls all the time because they're always wide and generally casting. And if you're playing an extra, don't be lazy. Don't show up late and don't have an attitude. Because guess what? All the time, walking past silent extra roles are upgraded to speaking extra roles, are upgraded to, oh, this person can be recurring on this series now. No, because I like how she acted like this. And once the director sees in you, because it's not about you, it's about your potential to fill that role. Once they see that potentially you fill that role and it makes sense, you are making their life easier. Yeah. Nobody just wants headache, and nobody's coming to find you in your house. Do what our parents used to do back in the day. Get off the couch and go outside. That's what outside is. Like, go outside. Find work, go outside.
Amazing. So you guys, hope you have learned. Don't come and disturb me on Twitter.
No, disturb. Ask, because maybe you may know something and that's part of it, but don't just complain. What is irritating to all employers everywhere is this just like, again, it's the shortcuts mentality. And we have that problem in Nigeria. Everybody wants, hey, but I don't know. And then we'll look at your monologue now, rubbish. And when they tell you it's rubbish, your feelings will be hurt. Why are your feelings hurt? Why? Go and find a local community drama group and join. If there's no one, start one. Invite people to it. It's a muscle. It's like gym. Every day, get up and chow 1 hour of your craft, whatever that craft is. There's no way you're not going to get better. None. So if you're not getting better and you're not seeing growth, you're just not doing the work. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. That's it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Folu. She has spoken. So you guys should do what you will with the information. Thank you so much. And it's been amazing having you on this show. You should have put that on the scene.
No, not be a superstar. No. See, when I say something, I want you to look me in my eye. I want you to know that I'm saying this with my full chest. I'm not hiding from anybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Folu, for coming on the show. It's been amazing. I had a wonderful time talking to you on the show.
Thank you very much for having me. I had a lovely time. This has been chill.
Yeah.
It's good. Shout out to Batterbox for this.
Yeah. So if you want to you can be a part of this conversation. All you have to do is send us an email at talk@batterbox.com. And don't forget to follow us on all social media platforms on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube at Batterbox Podcast. My name is Benji, and you can follow me at Benji SZN on Instagram and Twitter. And Folu.
Sorry, please, I have a question.
Okay.
So, in case I need to borrow like one of these tripods, because it's looking very sturdy. Batterbox, how far?
Definitely.
Everyone is looking away from me now in the room. Everyone is looking away from me.
You want to use our tripod and go and shoot?
The country is tough. Petrol is cost.
All right, thank you so very much, guys. Till I come your way next time. My name is Benji. Bye-bye.
Bata, bata. Bata. Box.